No.
Aw, she is.
She is. She is sunshine in our world for sure.
Oh, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that.
True story.
But it is cloudy today. I thought
It's
it was supposed to
warm
be
though.
like 75 and sunny, and there's just
Well,
clouds.
that's on your side of the bridge.
Oh,
You're
no,
Precious.
I didn't
on this
cross over.
bridge, David, right? Come on, it's pretty sunny on this side.
I have a ton of sun pouring in through my windows where I am in Massachusetts.
Oh,
Jen, you don't
no,
even have windows where you are.
that's
It's
true.
like,
That's true.
like,
That's kind of true. But I was just outside a few minutes ago and the sun was out, I promise.
yeah, that's all right.
Anyway, here we are. We brought the sun by Elaine and the song. So let's dive in.
We
You
missed
ready?
you. Let's just tell everybody that. We missed you guys. Having holidays on Mondays.
Yeah.
We miss you so much. So we're glad you're back. Glad to be with you. Ooh, our waiting room is lit up. Let me get everybody in. Social media. Should we get right into it, Jen, or do you have some words of inspiration for them today? Because I have something I want to talk to you early about before we get to the next part of the call. So I'd love to get our social media stuff, and I would love Tiffany to talk about 75 Hard, and then we can dive right in.
Sounds like a great plan to me. Go ahead, Tiffany.
All right. So who's heard of 75 Hard? Who's done 75 Hard and actually completed it? Good for you, David. Good for you. So we were on a call last Monday. This is not my idea, so I'm not going to take credit for it. However, I am going to take credit for the action. We were on a call last Monday at noon, and they were talking about what would it look like if you did a 75 Hard for your business. So I was like, well, what would it look like if we did a 75 hard for our business? And I put that together. So I put it together on Thursday. As of this morning, we have 264 people in the group. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Here is my share.
Hello, Miss Hampton.
Hi, I'm on a call. Thanks, guys. My door, so I'm the mom of a 17-year-old teenage boy, and their friends just open the door, come in, respectfully say hi.
That's very polite.
That was very polite.
And he was
Miss
like,
Hampton.
hello, Miss Hampton.
Hey, it could have been
Like-
worse, Tiffany. Could have been
It
worse.
could be worse. I had 2 girls before I had the boy. Just let's start there. Anyway, so here's 75 Hard. I posted my personal 75 Hard. I am halfway through it. And I'll probably, like, the one that will probably be the last one is the 1 hour of exercise, which I will probably do at 10 o'clock tonight, because that's just how my life goes. But it will get done today.
That
because if it
water's going to
doesn't
be
get-
hard.
What?
That water's going to be hard.
3 of these. I'm on number
Oh.
2. Yeah.
Don't even say it, Jen.
I
Don't
can't
even talk
even
about
bring
it.
it back, Elaine. That was the worst idea we ever had in the history of ideas. By the way, we'll tell you after Tiffany's done.
Yeah, no words.
Yeah. So what I would encourage you all to do, I will put this in the chat. Build your own 75 hard. Don't make it a 75 easy, make it a 75 hard. I gave some ideas, like if you're a newer agent, if you want to do database edition. I really love the idea of database edition, and watch the lovely video that I did before with my anti-smiles.
So good. It didn't matter if you
So
smiled.
good.
So good.
There's a dual career version for our dual career friends. And then there is for real estate agents that have been around for a while and want to take it to the next level. I was conversating with somebody over the weekend who was like, those are 2,000 conversations. And my only response was, and? And because you gotta do it a little harder, but that's okay. So I will put it in the chat. Still one of the ideas, create your own. If you create your own, put it in the chat and put it in the group so other people can see it as well. And there'll be some accountability around it. I think it'll be fun.
You know what it will be is productive.
Yeah.
If you really dial into it and you give it your all, and you know, here's the thing about the 75 hard. People don't always finish it. Yet they start it and they realize that they could tweak it and make changes in their life for the better, even though it might not be all of those 75 things. they change little habits that improve their world. Might not be on that grand scale of the 75 hard, but those little chunks that you change really become habits that become very successful in your world. So I say, take it in, do what
Yeah.
you can here, even if it's 1% better than you did yesterday, guys, that's better than you did.
You're still
I'd rather
going.
you do well, I'm an extremist. Those that know me well know that I do things on a ridiculous level. So mine's a little intense. However, just pick 2 or 3. Like it doesn't really matter as long as you're changing something in your life, right? And I know, Brooke, you have something to talk about. However, I have one more really quick thing.
Go for it.
Okay. So what is the one obstacle we're facing with buyers right now? This isn't a hard question.
They don't have a lot of inventory to pick from.
Right? And most of the time they don't have a lot of inventory to pick from is because they are set where they can only pay X amount towards a mortgage. And those that know me know that I'm a pretty intense productivity coach and I really don't let people get away with making excuses. So one thing that I've talked about with newer agents that are trying to do real estate full time, is what would it look like if you Ubered or you DoorDashed to pay your monthly bill or whatever the case may be, right? And for those that have done, agent financials, we talk about red line, green line, yellow line, your bank statements and your credit card statements. What would it look like if we did that for our buyers and they miraculously found $15,000 to $20,000 more to put towards a down payment to buy a house in a different price point? So just to think like what value would that leave? Like they're not increasing their monthly payment unless of course interest rates go up. However, they're literally, instead of doing that Starbucks at $5 a day, that's $60 a week. And small things add up. And if they have an extra 3 or 4 hours, they go DoorDash or Uber and they make that money. And now all of a sudden they have 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in addition to put down towards a house. So as worth looking and seeking outside the box ideas to get more listings, this is just a great idea to get buyers in a position where they can actually buy at a different price point. And that's all I got.
Great
That's
job,
amazing. That's
Oh,
amazing.
I do want to mention the story that Elaine and I one time we took on a water challenge. And I'm telling you this as a service
We
announcement.
don't recommend this. Just
No,
need to start
this
off
is-
with
This
saying
is the
that.
what not to do conversation. Don't drink a lot of water fast.
Oh, no.
It was a 1 gallon challenge. Can we tell them that?
Wasn't a
Yeah.
1
in
gallon
40
in a 1 minute.
In
Oh,
45 minutes.
Oh!
But we're competitive. We're competitive. We both did it and we almost
do it.
didn't keep it down. We felt
No,
sick.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Drink a gallon of water during the entire day. Don't drink it fast. It really does mess with your entire body.
It just showed how
mentally.
competitive we both were.
Yeah, don't be competitive on drinking water fast. That's all. Okay, that's my service announcement. Let's move on.
Oh, let's get to this week's social content. I can't drink fast, so there we go. All right, can we see the googly doc?
Yes.
Cool. We're in our last week of April. I cannot believe it. And if you're always looking to get to the new calendar, we link it at the bottom. It is also linked in each of these tiles above. No, decline. You cannot have my screen. Hold on one sec. Somebody is trying to take over my screen.
Not me.
Do we have a rogue person in here?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, it's Amber. Aha. You can't have control today. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry. No, I didn't mean to do that. I was clicking around. That wasn't what I meant.
I was like, oh my gosh, do we have a Zoom bomber? But we don't. All right, so back to the content. Who remembers their first car? What was your first car? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What was your first car? I wonder how many of us had the same type of car for our first one. Le car. I remember Le car. I worked at a dealership while I was in high school at night. So that was a scary place to be because I saw all the new cars all the time. Mustangs, Chevys,
Oh,
Eurosport,
nice.
a lot of Mustangs, a lot of Chevys, a Eurosport, a lot of Mustangs. Wow. Mine was a 93 Corolla.
Mine was an 85 Corolla.
Yeah, I loved that thing. It ticked forever. It ticked forever. And I worked my buns off to save up enough money to put down a down payment that was half of it. And I also had to have the first 6 months in the bank for payments per my parents. Buick LeSabre. Oh my goodness. Any funny stories? Well, this is what you're going to ask your community about. So, just like we're sharing here, your community is going to love to share about this. I even have pictures of me with my pop out Iowa stereo that I would put in the little case and bring it into high school with me. These are fun, these are nostalgic. They get you chit chatting with everyone. And I just happen to love the picture of the kids and the dogs. Then we get into May. What do we do at KW in May? What is that all about, girls?
Red Day.
Red Day. Well, KW is amazing when it comes to giving back every single day with things like our generous KW Cares 501c3 and all the things we do. Red Day is our day. And oftentimes, we don't know about things in the community that are going on that we could help with all year. So this is the perfect opportunity and time to queue yourself up for future posts that are coming down in the next few weeks, right? The 9th is Red Day this year. And it just starts to highlight what people are doing. Do people work for a nonprofit or a not-for-profit? Do they have their own charities? Are they looking for donations for their school? This opens up great conversation to find out places you may have in need that you wouldn't hear about in normal channels. And it always feels good to give back locally. Give where you live. And then the sun is out in some places, not where Elaine is, but most places. And there are some people that doesn't matter the weather, they do either or. Not it here, but there's plenty of people that hike or bike or do both, but you can only pick one. So if the sun's out, it's nice and breezy. Are you going for a little bike cruise down by the ocean on the Cape? Are you around the lake by Winnipesaukee? Or are you climbing the mountains or hiking local trails? What are you doing? Put it in the comments. And there is a bonus post because Saturday is May the 4th. So there is a bonus post out there for May the 4th be with you. And then Sunday is Revenge of the
I don't understand why you don't have Justin Timberlake as one of the
Listen,
yes.
I am so over. It's gonna be May. It's like one of the ones. I can't do it. I can't do it. You have plenty. I'm giving you the good ones. You can go find the Justin Timberlake Grown Worthy. It's gonna be May. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Okay.
I bet you're going to do it.
I will now.
You will do it.
Well, now. Just because we give you these posts doesn't mean you can't source your own posts as well and add some fun based on your personality to that world. So there are social posts for the week. Now, with the extra time, I asked Jen to come on and talk to us about KW Cares because while we hear a lot about KW Cares this time of year or during times of big problems or if there's weather issues, hurricanes, tornadoes, storms, that's when we hear about all the good people are doing. And I think it's always important to bring it back to those locally that we know who have been impacted. If you were at the awards ceremony with us at Foxwoods during our culture morning, Jen and our guest interviewed a wonderful human that's in our region that's benefiting from it. But Jen, why don't you tell your story real quick about what happened and how KW Cares stepped in?
Sure, it's not my story yet. It's my brother's story. So my brother lives in Florida and he travels about 85% of the year. He works for the Golf Channel and the wrestling show. I don't know, WWE, I don't know, something like that, wrestling stuff. And so he travels for work quite often. About a year ago in September, there was a hurricane. Was it Ian? I don't remember the name of it.
I think
It was a
What?
hurricane in Florida, and it was a pretty significant hurricane that hit a lot of homes and families. And that particular night, he was traveling. He does have two young boys, ages 9 and 5. One is autistic, and his wife, my sister-in-law, was home, and my mom, who lives in Florida as well, doesn't typically stay there. She lives about an hour and a half away. She just had a feeling that she needed to go be with them that night while Dennis wasn't there during the hurricane. So she drove from her house to their house the night of the hurricane. And what happened was there was electrical fire, a backup fire, one of the outlets blew up in their house, and their house became engulfed with flames very, very quickly. And it was pouring, windy, very bad conditions outside. Obviously, two young boys. Luckily, they all were sleeping, tenting out in the living room this particular night, and the fire started in the dining area, kitchen area. If the boys were in their rooms, it would have been a totally different story that we'd be talking about, unfortunately, today. But we're not. We're talking about a happy story that they all got out okay, including their dog. Because my mom was there. And I mean, all the factors were like it was a good thing my mom was there. It was just crazy. They lost their entire house to this fire. Actually, they didn't lose the house to the first fire. It was the second fire, because the fire reignited the next morning, and then the rest of the house went up. They were left completely homeless. They went to my aunt's house that she lived a few doors down from them, luckily, that night. So they stayed there, but they had nothing. I mean, when I tell you they lost everything in that house fire, they really lost everything. KW Cares jumped in immediately. They gave them a $5,000 emergency fund grant within 24 hours. And obviously with some local support, they were able to get stuff from us as well. But they had nothing other than the clothes on their back, and KW Care stepped in that quickly. And then on top of that, unfortunately, my brother's insurance didn't catch up with the times, and his rebuild cost was nowhere near how much it was going to be to rebuild his home. And KW Cares came in again and gave him an additional grant to help him with those extended costs that he had to come out of pocket with. I'm happy to say that as of Thanksgiving, he does have his new home in the place where his old home was. And they are happily in their new home now. But honestly, I mean, he doesn't even work for Keller Williams. I do. And they supported him like he was family with us. And that will always stay with me forever. And I will be forever grateful for this company, not only for that, but for many other reasons. If you don't know what KW Cares is, please look into it. You never know when it could impact you or your world. So I'm completely grateful to KW Cares and what it could do.
I love that. I love that we have a company that cares about us so much and our families. When we are at national events, we see a lot of these stories, and we get to meet a lot of these people at the booths and have conversations with them. I've met someone who was personally affected by it when a tree fell through their house and went right through it, through the middle. Nobody was home. They had only been with us 3 months, had one transaction under their belt, and had given, and we were able to do things. So it's really important that we also understand where the funding comes from, because the funding comes from things like transactional giving. And a lot of our agents, when we were chatting with them at the awards, did not realize that that is not set up for you automatically. That is not something we predetermine for you. That is something that you have to go in. So today we'd like to show you, and I have a PDF that I'm going to drop in. So if you're on the phone, I will also make sure it is in our Facebook group, but I would love to show you in a couple quick steps. It's 5 clicks or less, how you can set up your pledge for the giving. It's super fast, I promise. All right, so we're gonna hop into Command. Where's my screen? Share screen. All right, so once you're logged in to Command, when you come up to your name, we're gonna go right into settings. Under settings, we're going to go to command settings, and you're going to see opportunities. Now, this is where it lives because you're doing it when you have a closing. Opportunity and recurring deductions. Now, you can set a dollar amount from your transactions, or you can set a percentage. So it all depends on what you would like to pledge. From there, once you put an amount in, until you put an amount or make a change, save changes won't pop up. So as soon as that happens, go ahead and click save changes. And now every transaction that happens through my account, a $30 tax deductible donation from my net commissions is going to go to KW Cares in transactional giving. We hope that tragedy never faces our associates and families of the region, but we know it happens. And I'm just grateful and thankful every day that there is something like KW Cares, because you just never know. You never know when something's going to happen. So we can go over that more. We're going to have open Q&A and command, and I want to show you some new and updated things. But Jen or Tiffany, do you have anything you want to add about the KW Cares or what you've known and seen? Oh, muted.
I was just saying, this is just another reason why that 75 hard is relevant for right now. Because the more business we could work on, the more we could contribute back to our communities like this. So, you know, I would just dive in as much as you can to your own community, because it gives back. It gives back the more you do. So, Tiffany?
I agree. And you'd be surprised how many people in your market center that have actually were impacted and taken care of because of this. And $5, like, it doesn't really impact you, but it changes people's lives.
That's a value add for me, big time. If I knew I was working with an agent that gave a percentage of their, to whatever it is, right? They were always looking for those value adds. That's a big one. Anybody have questions about that while we start to pick the winner? I know Tiffany and Jen usually have the spinner.
I think Tiffany does today.
Okay. Questions on that or where to get to it? I can run through it again on the tech part of our next, from our 2:30 on. Wonderful. So today we are giving away a copy of Your First Home. Now here's my big ask with this book, because I know we've given it away in the past. You may have had one in the market center, and Ron, I've got one coming to you. We had a snowstorm, so I didn't end up in your market center that day, but I still have it over here in an envelope for you. Please gift this to someone in your market center or someone in your world that could use this book. Your First Home is more than how to buy a house and talk about value in this world. Huge. It's huge. So if you win, please gift it to someone. Write a nice little message on the inside and give it away as a gift. Don't forget to join the 75 Hard Real Estate Group either. Link is in there. All right, Tiffany.
Our winner this week is Andrea Peters.
Andrea, where are you? Are you? Do you
Oh,
see?
hi, Mary. I didn't see you on.
I'm glad I won.
Oh, there she is. I see your face. Congratulations, Andrea. Andrea was just in 6 Personal Perspectives with myself.
I was, and we're starting a book club tomorrow. A
I
little book
love
club.
that.
Yeah.
This girl wins it all. I love it.
I know. I only win. I love that I win. I only win at Keller Williams. The lottery, not so much.
I would
Andrea,
rather win at Keller Williams than the lottery.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Just saying.
Well, I will drop it off to you in the. Are you in the Salem or Nashua Market Center when I go by?
Salem, please.
Got it. I will make sure that it's there for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, friends, we're going to switch over to the second half of this call, which is even more fun than the first half.
You know what, Brooke, I do want to just quickly mention that the region is putting on a road show, and we are going to be coming to your market centers throughout the
Yay.
summer, teaching Value Squared. So you might have been on with Gary, Jason, and Jay, And we are doing this locally. So we're going to put a local spin on this and what it means for you and your business and how to add extreme value. So that compensation conversation is never a challenge. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. I will be coming out to a market center near you.
Woo woo.
Great, thank you.
All right, friends, we're gonna switch over. Stop the recording.